everyone, Nazo the Hedgehog here, and welcome to a new part. This is part 9 of Tales of Arise. Last time we pretty much got to the new area. We met a few people. We found out don't trust the food in the area, and oh yeah, one of the characters died. So yeah, and we've got another special guest here today. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Thanks for you saying that. Hello everyone. This is Hero the Hedgehog here. Won't go down into the details, but I know this one over here. It wouldn't be the first time either. Anyway, I don't know
I didn't
much
realize there was a
about
pond
this
here.
game.
Yeah,
I don't
this
think
is
it'd be
Taco
one of those
Pond,
games that you
and
would
it
see me
happened to have
play.
saved my life once upon a time.
But
What
I
do you
like
mean?
listening to the stuff of it,
As
so
a kid,
why not
I
have a look
survived
into
life
it?
under the past lords by escaping here
I'm
in my
new to
youth.
gaming.
It's terrible to
Dragonfire's the
swim in,
one that got
but
me into
great
the
for catching a bite
told
for
me to
dinner
do the
away from
gaming
Ren and
stuff
Oz.
for the channel. So
Bear in
You
mind,
mean,
our
did he
rations back
you
then
mean when
weren't
you
enough
say
to
he
live off of.
made you, do you
You
mean
had to
by
get
he
Mather's
persuaded
meat
or
and
forced
things if you
you?
wanted enough food to survive.
he told me that hey,
How did you catch
since you're
it?
taking over,
Where
you're
did you
doing
get your hands?
the gaming aspect.
That might take a while. Fish are prone to swim away at the first sign of
Oh,
trouble.
okay.
I'd put bait or a lure on a line and use it with a fishing rod. You must not be familiar with fishing if this sounds new to you. Here, let me show you how it's done.
Oh wow, we're learning how to fish in a game that's
That's all there is
supposed to
to
be
it.
RPG.
Wow.
I mean,
Seems like you need to have
hey,
good
there
reflexes
ain't
to
no
catch
nothing
anything.
wrong with that,
I
to
don't
be
know if
fairly
it's
honest
really
with
for
you.
me.
So in some games like that, fishing or certain types of general
Kisara?
skills can
I
actually
think I've seen
be
enough.
very, very
Oh,
helpful.
sorry.
And again,
I
I
guess I'm
remember when I
just in my
started
own
learning
little world
fishing.
when I go fishing.
It
Looks
was
like
quite
we're going to
fun.
be here for a while.
That's how fishing goes. You wait for a bite, and then the
Oh,
real battle
fuck.
begins. Miguel told me that different fish live in different regions, and you have to pick the right rod and lure for what you're hoping to catch.
But that doesn't change the fact it's a giant time sink.
Of course, each fish has its own unique flavor, too. And some of them are supposed to be extremely delicious.
When you put it like that, maybe it's worth me trying my hand at fishing after all.
Interesting.
Oh sure.
I was hoping we'd get to fish during
Aha.
our travels. And it just so happened
She
I was
likes
sure to grab
food.
my brother's old rod before I left Vicente. So, if you ever feel
Sounds
like
like a
fishing
stand.
when we've got a little downtime, just let me know.
Good to hear.
You can't
Thanks for
say
showing
I'm
us.
wrong.
No, you're not.
Especially when you know freaking Goku and freaking Vegeta.
I don't know those two, but Dragonfire does.
Is it just
Oh,
me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey, though, huh? How long do you think they're gonna keep this up?
If it bothers you that much, why don't you ask them?
Why do I have to ask?
How come you walk together like that?
you know what?
She really doesn't beat around the
You
bush.
simple. You ask.
You mean Kisara and myself?
Mm-hmm.
You hadn't noticed? You've been practically joined at the hip ever since we left Vicente.
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him should the need arise. It sort of came with the job description.
Right. From being in the Elder Menancia Guard. Although, Dohalim's pretty capable of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara.
Okay.
You're no longer
Fair.
a boy, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
But she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing while you're at it.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I'll probably need a little time to get fully used to it. I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on
Okay,
my
that's
They will
interesting.
swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm glad at least one of us understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can with
Wow.
I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part
This
of the
area
resistance
is
in
cutscene
Quiet.
heavy, it looks like.
My birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alvin? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
Wow, that's saying something.
I know that once the spirit
I
vessel was
guess.
shut down, there wasn't much.
I mean,
movement
if
at
you're...
all. But still, I didn't
If you
like
get
having
something
my
removed and
life
it doesn't even leave a
lingering on
scar,
me
that's
any
saying
longer than I had
something.
to. It may sound a little
Yeah,
strange
not like
to
what
hear me
happened with
say this,
Infinite.
but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman. And this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used?
Yeah, not like they do that with the
Repairs
normal
require
world.
Time and effort,
Exactly.
which in our world means slaves.
No, seriously, like,
In great
honestly, if you
numbers.
think they have to pay, if you think the humans have to pay
For
taxes,
you, it
and
may
they
be a
still
simple
don't get it
request,
done.
but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danan, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing
Makes
so could be
sense.
dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer
That's
that the
if
others who
they're
risk their
willing.
lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danans in our
Well-
group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself. It's true that most of the Danans in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
Dang.
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side. I'm simply glad...
I didn't realize how many cutscenes there are.
Huh?
Jeez.
What's wrong?
We haven't even moved
You
yet.
seem to have come across some rather unusual
Welcome to some games, my friend.
Garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued. Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Oh, yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine this.
I'm surprised you're staying calm, especially after
But it
what
must be
happened
nice to be a
recently.
Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does.
Oh,
Holding
good
it in your hands
grief.
like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way
I'm
no
just,
history
I'm
can
just
ever
listening to
accomplish.
this at this
I'll
point.
take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Danon history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course.
So did you hear the news between Dragonfire and Terios?
That obvious, huh?
I did.
Except I don't think I'll be changing.
And
much
how do you
after all.
feel about that?
Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to stay his servant.
What
However,
am I
am
supposed to
going treat
do
him like a
except
fellow
just
comrade,
accept
the
and
same
just
way I
move
would with
on?
you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my
Give
life
me
protecting
one
others.
other option
Now,
I
isn't that
have.
what friends do too?
That isn't what a
Support
villain
and
would
protect
do.
one another in times of need.
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you always done, right?
Exactly.
If that's what you're most comfortable
I'm
with,
not
I'm certainly
dumb.
not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Ooh.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Elderman and Sia of its enemies and search
You
for
know it
wisdom in
wasn't
the
his
outside
fault.
world. Wisdom that I could
I
potentially put to
know.
use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops. Sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do we do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan, leaving everything to someone else.
Manuel, I don't...
Wow.
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh boy.
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being and forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes, I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, But Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Denon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
How unfortunate.
Tell me about her.
Hey, let's stop for a minute.
What's up? Are you tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahag Sar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alvin is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already. I need a break, so we're taking one.
Dang.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm... Been looking for you. Me? Why?
That's gotta hurt.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
He's tough.
Who are you? Said you were looking for me. Why? Beautiful, precious life. That is all I desire.
Oh, now we're fighting him? Oh boy.
Take it down. If it's in the sky, it's mine.
Take that. Come on.
This guy's not normal.
We haven't even gotten any damage off of him yet. Jeez.
Now you see what I can do.
Oh, well, we're down.
What?
Yep.
Oh my days.
Oh, there we go. We're finally revived.
Stay away from my friend.
Shion's down. We might have to lose this fight, because look at how much damage we've done.
Well, what? Oh my god.
Yeah, we're up there.
Yeah, I see that.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me? Dang. Dang. Jeez, this is intense.
Is that all that you've got? Very well. Then die.
Shion.
Oh, he's not doing too well.
No.
A wretch like you?
What? Excuse me?
Well, we all know how this is going.
Mm-hmm.
Till next time.
Now he's gone.
Shion, wake up, please.
Alvin,
Shion.
thanks, but you're kind of crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I.
Yeah, she's a healer, just to let you know.
I can see that, you know.
It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought
I'm
you were...
fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides,
She does have a point. It's not different.
Never mind.
Besides,
It's not different.
everyone was
Anyway,
attacking
thank
him. Not just you two.
But I didn't...
Yep.
Look, I'm just glad that you're...
He does remind me of Sonic, though.
Mm-hmm.
Alvin?
Sorry.
That guy said he'd be back. I think maybe we should get moving before he returns, right?
Yes.
Rinwell has a good point. We need to go. Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I already applied some healing arts to it. It didn't even leave a scar.
But his sword went nearly straight through you.
I'm all right. Unless I've turned into some kind of ghost and I'm haunting you all right now.
No, I know you're not. It's just...
Look, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm fine. Really.
There was also that strange light that appeared when Shion was stabbed. It seemed to make the enemy retreat when he saw it. Alvin, do you have any idea what it might have been?
A light? I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied with other things at the time.
Now that I think of
That
it,
is strange.
that light and the blazing sword. Just what sort of person are you, Alvin? Can you use Danon astral arts
Not
like Ringo,
wrong.
perhaps?
He wouldn't know, Dohalim. He doesn't have any memories from his past, remember? Besides, we should really be getting out of here.
I suppose you're right. Forgive
Well,
me.
even though some people don't have memories of their past, they always somehow get it back.
Any luck?
Oh, I'm sure we'll get it back later.
How are you holding up after that last fight? You're not too hurt, are you?
I'm fine, really. See for yourself.
If things get too tough out there, go ahead and fall back. I can take a beating if I need to.
I'm not here just to stand around and have everyone protect me.
I get that, but there's nothing wrong with admitting you have weaknesses too.
Do I look like I'm just trying to put on a brave face to you?
I can't feel pain, but you still can, can't you?
Look, I appreciate you're trying to look out for me, but even you go down in fights from time to time. Please, stop trying to babysit me. It's getting old.
It's not that. I just...
Well, we finally made it. About time. Jeez.
Yeah.
Are we in the right place? This place looks like a mess.
Yes, this is Niez, the capital of Mahag Sar.
I don't see any signs of people. And the buildings.
Why does this place give me Halloween vibes?
No soldiers, no Danons, not a soul to be seen.
You're not wrong.
Besides, this is clearly a Renin district.
Hey, check out that drawing on the castle gate. That's the Darkwing's crest. It's from an old Danon legend about a hero who defeated an evil king with a torch and their trusty owl. That's his crest. I'm sure of it.
Dark wings.
Really? First time I'm hearing it. So if someone drew it on the gate...
It must mean the Renins have lost control of the city.
Are you suggesting the Danons rose up and defeated the Lord here? Hard to believe, but not entirely unthinkable, given the evidence.
Let's look around and see if we can find someone. They might be able to tell us what happened.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
All of these ruins look like they were made pretty recently.
But if that's
Yeah,
the
that's
case,
the right word.
then where do you think the people that used to live here went off to? There must have been Danons and Renins, right?
That's a good question. Even if the Danons rebelled and managed to overthrow the Renins here, there should still be some people around.
This debris. Do you think it could be the work of Renin astral arts?
Perhaps, but the appearance of these ruins is rather uniform, which leads me to believe otherwise.
Hey, Rinwell. That story you told us about the Dark Wings. It said that the evil king was vanquished with a holy flame, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then there might be some truth to that old story after all. It looks like all the rubble here had been scarred by flames.
Let's not jump to any conclusions just yet. If we can find
Is
someone around
holy
here,
flames
we might be
even
able to
a
get them to tell us
thing?
what happened.
In multiple
You forgot to
different
take care of the
things.
fire yesterday.
Yes.
What do you mean take care of?
Holy flames, holy
You
fire.
put it out?
Excuse me, but yeah.
If it stays lit, it could end up in real trouble real fast.
I see. I apologize for not realizing that. I shall be more careful in the future.
The way he's talking, it's like the thought of putting it out himself never even occurred to him.
Moving on, Dohalim, I should mention that the clasp for your cape is about to come undone.
Oh yes, I tried to fix that myself, but it simply refused to cooperate with me.
I can't believe I'm hearing this. Are you telling me
Consider
Renans
if you
can't even
call
trust
him anymore,
themselves?
you can't do it.
Lords like Dohalim have attendants that take care of just about everything they need. So I'm not surprised he sometimes struggles with the basics.
Even by those standards, you've got to admit this is still a little extreme.
Shionna's got a point. I mean, you don't see Renans like her needing so much help to get stuff done.
In my case, circumstances forced me to learn how to be independent. Even so, I still think Dohalim could afford to pick up a few more self-sufficient skills.
Well, specifically speaking, what would you suggest that I learn?
For starters, I think it'd be good for you to learn how to dress and put on shoes. How to comb your hair is equally important, and learning to manage your possessions better. And then from
Wow, he doesn't even know how to do that
His
stuff.
mom rattling all that off.
That's scary.
And another
Dang.
thing, about your owl, Rinwell.
What is it?
When he starts to molt, would you be willing to give me his old feathers? I think I could find a use for them.
What do you intend to do with those?
Well, recently, I haven't been sleeping well. However, I hear pillows made from owl feathers are very comfortable and wish to make one.
This is why I hate you, Renans!
Did I say something offensive?
Yeah.
Everyone needs aside for a second and think about how someone might react first. Then consider if it's worth asking at all.
They do have a point.
Stop right there! Don't move!
They have us surrounded.
Who are you? Where did you come from?
You first! Show yourself!
I'm the one asking the questions here. Don't try anything funny. One wrong move, and I guarantee we'll blow you away.
What are you...
My name is Alvin. I came here from Calaglia.
Alvin? The wielder of the blazing sword?
Getting pretty famous, isn't he?
Here is my proof. Will that suffice? Or do I have to burn down one of those houses to make my point?
Dang.
No need. I believe you.
I mean, sometimes you have to.
I'm Bayfong of the Darkwings. Sorry for threatening to blow you away. We're still hunting down the remnants of the enemy forces, so everyone's more than a bit on edge right now. Please forgive me.
Remaining? Wait, you mean you already took down the Lord of this realm?
That's right. We took her weapons and turned them right back on her.
Are you the Danon leader here in Niez?
Nah, I'm just one of the commanders. Deadheim's the one who runs the show. I'd be happy to take you to him. Just one problem. The Renans. Seems the rumors you were running with them were true. You do understand, right? I mean, we only just liberated the city from their kind. Everyone's short on trust. And for good reason. Especially Deadheim. I think it'd be best if those two waited outside.
Not going to happen.
I don't think it's a good idea for us to split up. It's too dangerous.
Then it's on your head, friend. Our base is that way.
You could have left me behind, you know.
This isn't just about you, Dohalim.
Ah, yes.
So you're Alvin, are ya? Thought you'd be bigger.
Really? A Frieza joke?
Beefs you up a bit.
No, I mean, it's also well, to be honest, if you think about it, it's also a reference to Master Chief when one of the females said, I thought you people,
You play by my rules here. Just remember that. Gotta say, I didn't expect you to run with a gang of women and kids. Those other lords must have been real pushovers, huh?
Oh, no.
To everyone you meet?
Don't interrupt me, you brat. Didn't your parents teach you any manners?
Oh. Dang, this guy's a jerk.
Took down the Lord of this realm, huh? How'd you pull that off?
We explosives.
That's a pretty bold approach. But how'd you manage to avoid hurting your own people?
I didn't, that's how. With the chance to take out a lord, it was worth the sacrifice.
Jeez, he makes me look like a saint.
This sacrifice earned you.
Oh!
This guy makes me look like a saint.
But now we've
He
really
makes
got the
you
girl.
look like normal.
Exactly.
Lord? Yeah, the lady was just a coward. She had a whole lot more bark than bite, that's for sure. She's probably hiding off in a hole somewhere.
Why is it all bark and more bite? Like, really?
We'll find her and drag her right back into town. Then she'll get what's coming to her.
I wouldn't be so sure. She may run, but she'll never go quiet.
Shut up, Bright Eyes! I would have run you through already.
Wow!
The blazing sword here.
The whole reason you're fighting is to free the Danons in this realm, is it not? If so,
Shut
then...
your mouth, witch, that's enough! If you're really fighting for us Danons, why keep these bastards around? Why haven't you killed them already?
Dang.
Kill these bastards.
Is that the case, huh? Then tell me the point of this show.
They're my friends.
Friends! Renans are Renans. The scum-sucking bastards who've been draining our souls for 300 years now! But you knew that. Maybe it's 'cause you, little lady, are friends and more.
Well, he deserves that.
Well, you're not wrong.
Son of a... You'll pay for that!
That's enough! Deadeye, you know that was completely uncalled for.
All of you, get the hell out of my realm! And don't ever come back! This is Danon's realm and it's ours, understand? I call the shots here, and I make the rules! I do, Deadeye, leader of the Dark Way!
Yeah! Deadeye! Liberator!
Ugh.
True leader of this realm! We're not afraid of any bright eyes!
It's only a matter of time before I throw every last bright eye out of this realm!
The Dark Wings! The Dark Wings rule!
I never thought I would come across someone that makes me look. Ugh.
Nazo, I deal with people like this on a monthly basis, and every time it makes me more
You should
sick.
have left your Renin pals outside.
You don't agree with him, do you? I could tell by the look on your face in there.
That's how things are with him. He loses his temper, then I step in and calm things down.
Better you than me.
If that's all, I think it's past
I
time
mean,
for
if
a
it
go.
was me who punched him, I'm pretty sure his head wouldn't be there, but hey.
I would have blown him to
Somebody's got
bits.
some manners around here.
He didn't
Nah,
used to
leave
be
us,
like that.
leave the rest of the body to spurt
Well,
out.
that's what losing most of your loved ones will do
Point
to
of
a man.
blowing at the smithereens if there's nothing left for anyone to see.
It's a little ironic how indistinguishable his manner is to that of a lord.
Hey, Bayfon?
Huh.
Deadeye
Some
mentioned the
fucking
Lord's still on
lord.
the run. Any idea
Exactly.
where she might be?
We looked all over, but found no traces of her.
Jesus
We heard
Christ.
some rumblings about activity in Estaluva Forest, but that's it.
Estaluva, huh?
Wait, you're not going after her, are you?
I mean, at
When
least
you
that
leave
guy
Rangers
is
with Deadeye,
sympathetic, and
This
at
isn't
least he
Deadeye's
understands
war.
and keeps
We're
himself
certainly not fighting
calm.
for him.
Exactly.
Besides, like Shion said,
At least
we're trying
he's
to keep
more
things go
reasonable, unlike that other guy.
It's your funeral.
Simple
Don't say I didn't
is another
warn you.
word.
We'll
Mm-hmm.
be sure to keep you out of it. Before we set out, though, is there anywhere around here we can rest?
Sure. Building at the end of the road, opposite side. It's all yours. We use it as temporary lodging, to house people who don't have a new place to live quite yet.
We're not going to run into any trouble there, are we?
Rumors of a certain fiery sword have spread fast. I doubt anyone will be eager to give you guys problems. And here's
You
where I
know
say
what?
I
Not
You're on
wrong.
your own, but good hunting.
Before you go, how come you don't hate the Renins as well?
I've got my bone to pick with the Renans. Just not with two of them I've never so much as laid eyes on before.
Let's head on over to that lodge. We'll figure out what our next move is there.
I get the feeling Deadeye signed up to be a rebel, so he could have a rooster rule. Heck, he's no better than a lord. In some ways, he's even worse.
I know. How could he use explosives on his own people?
And yet, despite the toll of his actions, none of the Danans we've seen seem to question his assumed authority in the least. If anything, they may well consider him a hero, which would say a great deal to how deeply they resented the Renans.
He does not even deserve the title of a hero.
No, he doesn't. He deserves to be in bars.
Deadeye might have managed to drive the remnants out of Nia.
Bars is
But that doesn't make him do it okay.
How do I call it? The tiniest punishment he could ever deserve is a better answer?
No, that isn't a victory at all. I can understand that the Danans here are standing up against their oppression, but that doesn't mean they have to humiliate all Renans just to settle the score.
I'm perfectly able to stand up for myself, Alvin. Besides, I'm used to it by...
But you shouldn't have to be, Shion. That's just... What I mean to say is, when you've been a slave for so long, it's easy to accept that's how it should be because it's all you've ever known. Constantly being belittled is no different. I don't think that's fair. For me or for you.
He does have a point.
Does have a point.
I just don't know, man.
Don't know what?
Deadeye managed to drive out a real live Renan lord. That's incredible. And he seems to have a lot of supporters surrounding him too. But he's got an attitude worse than any angry Zoogle. Plus, Niaz is in utter ruins. I don't have a clue what his game is.
The Renans are powerful. And because of that, it takes a strong leader to have any hope of toppling them. However, when you take down one dictator only to replace them with another, ultimately it's just business as usual.
If it had been Zephyr instead of Deadeye, I don't think things would have turned out like this.
Rinwell.
Yeah, I think so too. Zephyr did things differently top to bottom. He's not the kind of person who would have forced his own views or decisions on other people. When you do that, you're ruling over others, not leading them.
To be honest, I don't know what I would have wanted my dad to do if he was in that position.
Law.
You don't want to know.
Weird in a way. It's a weird kind of feeling, but at the same time, part of me also feels happy. Deadeye and my dad are two very different men. For now, I'm content knowing that.
The city is liberated, and yet the air still hums with fear and anxiety. It reminds me all too well of how Vicente once was.
Hums? You mean like music?
Yeah, none of this sounds like music to my ears. In fact, I've never seen any Danans with musical instruments in my life.
You don't need instruments to play music. It can emerge naturally from the sounds of people going about their day and the hustle and bustle of life.
You seem to care a lot about music, Dohalim. I didn't know that about you.
Have I not mentioned it? Before I was a candidate for the lordship, I had my heart set on the life of a musician.
You? A musician?
Indeed, music enriches the world around us. I trained day and night to hone my art. Words could not describe my bliss, as my notes carried with them the
So he likes music.
The ebb and flow of time, and the thought.
Hey, everyone's gonna like something.
Dohalim.
Forgive me. My loquaciousness can get the best of me at times.
Don't apologize. It's interesting hearing what Renan culture is like.
Even though the Renans destroyed all of our arts and culture.
Personally, I was interested in the music of Dana as well. The fact that generations of lords deemed music to be of no use to their slaves and outright forbade the ownership of instruments is lamentable.
Wow.
Not that my words can undo the damage already done.
That Deadeye creep certainly has a few screws loose, that's for sure.
Forget that guy.
That's an
Right now, we
understatement.
need to discuss how we're going to proceed.
What's there to discuss? Deadeye and his crew have already brought down the Lord here. Just let them finish her off.
I want to go after her.
I second that. I think it's the best thing to do right now. We don't know if the Darkwings have what it takes to beat her. I'm worried what'll happen if we leave her to her own devices.
You make a good point, Manuel. And maybe I'm just being overconfident, but between us and them, I think we have a better chance at defeating her.
Yeah.
This realm isn't going to be truly safe as long as that Lord is still running around out there. We need to act.
Fine by me. But isn't Deadeye just gonna take all the credit once we're done?
Our job is to break down the walls that oppress Dana. What he chooses to build in their place, that's his problem. For now, we'll head to this Estaluva forest Bayfon told us about. Whatever we decide to do, though, we should take some time to rest first. We've barely stopped since Menancia.
You don't want to overwork yourself, apparently. But there's a Shion.
Whoa.
Where are you going?
Alvin,
You should get some rest. What's got you up at this hour?
just let me be for a minute, okay? Why don't you go back to the inn?
I will when you do.
Wow.
Have it your way.
Shion. The Lord's days are numbered. I haven't forgotten our promise. You can trust me, you know. Maybe even lean on me a little. If you want.
And if I say I will you finally give it a rest?
Yeah, of course. Try to get some rest, okay?
What was all that about?
She doesn't have no idea, does she?
Yeah, she doesn't.
But to be fair, he doesn't know when she's doing the same thing, so...
The winds outside the capital are blowing as strongly as ever.
You can definitely see why people call this place the Valley of the Four Winds.
Indeed. Mahag Sar is the realm of wind, just as Ganeth Heros is for water.
Earth, water, fire, wind, light, and darkness. Rena is aligned to darkness, leaving each realm one element each.
Is that because some elements are easier to gather in certain areas than others?
That is certainly possible, but I suspect
That would make
the biggest reason is
sense.
to prevent the lords from
It would make
squabbling over
sense, but
resources.
also not depending on people's
Think
motivations.
infighting would come
Exactly.
elite class vying for the crown.
True, but the Renans rule as a minority. Fighting ourselves would just be destructive. Though, as you saw in Menancia, any abstention from fighting is merely a facade.
In the end, you all get usurped whether you like it or not.
That may be true, but something tells me that this time is different.
We have to catch up to the Lord first if we want answers. Let's keep moving.
What is that ring of rocks over there for? They don't look like they formed naturally to me.
Oh yeah. Funny, I guess I've gotten used to weird rock formations. They didn't even register as being out of the ordinary.
Most likely, they were brought over by us Renans when we first invaded the planet.
Wait, those? So does that mean there's some kind of machine then? And if so, what in the world were they even used for?
To manipulate the properties of Dana's astral energy.
Really?
Think about it. Isn't it strange that the type of energy each realm collects is so fixed? Astral energy by nature isn't meant to skew towards one element or another so heavily.
So the Renans reformed it for the crown contest.
Wow, she's
Sounds like the crazy
she's
thing
smart.
around would
She's
be.
like Tails.
Renan's
Dang.
abilities are more advanced than Danon's in some ways, but even they don't.
Yeah,
seem
I guess you
capable
could
of
say
doing something
that.
on that grand a scale. Or is that something that's possible on Lenegus? Or maybe the Renin homeworld?
I can't claim to know everything about my own kind, but I myself have never seen anything that would be capable of such a drastic feat.
But at some point, they did just that. Those are the sort of people we're up against. We should do our best not to forget that.
You're so amazing, Kisara. You can cook, you can fix weapons. I feel like there's practically nothing you can't do.
Maybe you should take a page out of her book and learn to make yourself more useful then.
Wow.
I'd be happy to teach you if you want to. I learned most everything I know from my brother.
Roasting amongst friends.
Really? Even how to sew
Yep.
and do laundry?
Yes, indeed. He knew how to do anything.
Sounds like he was a pretty handy guy when he was alive.
He was. I'd always follow him around and badger him with questions. I was a real pain in the neck. Now that I think about it, he and Legil were the ones who taught me how to raise cats, too.
Legil is that woman who was with him in the Gold Dust Cats, right? I remember now. The one with the really pretty hair.
Funny you mention that. He also taught me how to maintain my hair. Not that those lessons stopped it from getting all tangled up during training.
I think it still looks gorgeous.
From what I can tell, it would appear as though the only thing he didn't manage to teach you was how to apply makeup.
No, but that didn't stop him from trying. He really wanted to teach me everything.
Wow.
And the reason he couldn't was because I prioritized my training.
And here I was trying to make a joke.
I can't tell if she's being serious. The only one who
Wow.
knows well enough is her.
Yeah.
I get where he's coming
If it's
from.
actually true.
Alvin, have you been washing your clothes? It may not be my place to say this, but frankly, they're starting to stink.
Wow.
Now that you mention
We
it,
went from a
it's been while since I did
decent
my laundry.
I'll wash
decent
them for you.
family cutscene to
Just
a
remember to give them to me the next time
clothes
they change.
stink.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Yeah, so we went from a perfectly good team that's acting like a family, and now we get this.
What do you
Yep.
expect? Of course
What a
they're
great
sure I didn't
transition
like
that
it
is.
so much.
Wow.
It's still kind of embarrassing having it pointed out like this.
And Shion?
I wouldn't touch me
Oh,
if I were you.
Of course. My apologies. All I
Oh
wanted
yeah,
to
just
say
to
was
let
that
you
these
know,
things
she
are
has a
getting little bit
curse.
dirty.
You don't need to worry
Which
so
is
much,
what?
Kisara. It's
Thorns.
only natural our clothes are gonna get a little dirty while we're traveling around.
Ew.
That's no excuse. Your outward appearance says a lot about your inner well-being.
Now you've really set her off.
Suffice to say, it would appear that the traditions of the guard are still alive and well with
Dang.
What do you mean?
Just,
What do the guardsmen do
she
that's so
just pulled
special?
a shot
Mostly,
spot. She just
I'm
pulled a
simply referring
shot
to the
right
fact that
there.
they're a very
Yep.
regimented and cleanly group of people.
Do I really sound that weird to you guys? Keeping your clothes clean and mended is completely normal to me.
Don't get us wrong. We appreciate the thought, Kisara. But we've got a long journey ahead. It wouldn't hurt to relax your standards. Just a little.
If you're sure. I wasn't
Not
trying to
wrong.
overdo it.
Not wrong.
However, if it's making the rest of you tense, I'll do my best to tone it down from here on out. Still, if everyone could bring their laundry and clothes they want fixed, that'd be great. I'll take care of it all for you guys tonight.
Don't you ever get tired?
She reminds me of Vanilla.
Dohalim, your spare bracers were getting dirty, so I polished them
Not
up along
wrong.
with the rest of your equipment.
Vanilla is a
Why, thank you,
well-disciplined
Kisara.
mother, which
I
is...
greatly appreciate that.
And again, which is why I give being the mother she
You
is
sure
the
seem
queen.
to fuss over Dohalim a whole lot, Kisara.
It is a little strange. Almost like you're still in his service.
Really? That's certainly not my intention. Besides, he's not the only one I'm like that with. Hey, Law, I saw your clothes were starting to get holes in them, so I stitched them back up for you.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Kisara.
Point taken. Do you just like looking after people?
I wouldn't go so far as to say I like it, but I get anxious if I don't. I'd always like to help if I can.
So it's like
It comes naturally
habits.
to me.
Yep,
Back in
it
the
looks
day,
like
Gar
it.
and I used to look after the younger kids a lot, so that's probably where it comes from. He taught me everything I
Nate,
know.
pretty much it
and
became
I
second
use
nature.
everything. How to plant wild plants, how to sew clothes so they'll last.
Stop being
Without
cold.
him, we never would have been able to survive.
However, you're not a lord anymore, Dohalim. You need to get used to the idea that people aren't just going to wait on you hand and foot.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I'm ashamed to admit that I felt no qualms about her doing all that for me. As both a Renan and especially as a lord, one becomes too accustomed to those beneath you tending to your every need, both Renans and Danans alike.
Sure, that's how all you Renans are probably raised. But just to be clear, we're not your servants, Dohalim. Got that?
Absolutely. Moments such as this provide me with ample opportunity to confront my unease. It is difficult to tend with my own motivations.
What do you mean?
The truth of the matter is that my espousal of coexistence in Menancia hardly came from an idealistic place. That instinctive unease I feel deep within serves as a reminder for what it is that all of us here fight for.
Don't be so hard on yourself. No one's going to abandon you if you aren't always perfect.
Looking at her now, I think she's more like his mom than his servant.
What's up, Kisara? You look concerned.
Oh, no, it's just... I'm looking at our finances and they seem to have taken a nosedive. I don't remember us making any big purchases, though.
Ah, that may be because I borrowed a small amount to purchase something the other day.
I don't think you can call spending more than half of our money a...
More than half?
What? What the hell did you buy?
As it so happens, I came upon a rather special object that I've long been searching for.
Are you talking about that junk? I mean, that unique-looking trinket you're holding?
Whoa, is that a...
Indeed. It is a lost artifact from ancient Danan times. Most likely...
He spent more than half on a...
Ever since we Renans
It's an
conquered
ancient
Danan,
artifact,
such objects
so
have been
I
disappearing.
guess it has some reason, but more than half is not the answer.
No.
If it's to preserve Danan history, then I guess we can maybe look...
I mean, getting money in this game is hard enough.
Why spend money on something that won't even keep us fed?
More to the point, we all contribute to that money. I don't like the thought of anyone dipping into it without saying anything.
You must
She does have a point, because money is hard to come by in this game.
Dohalim?
Yeah, I kinda
maybe
got to
no one
figure
taught
that.
you that money doesn't grow on trees.
I may have been a lord, but I realize that much.
It's not enough to simply realize it. You have to internalize the concept too. Even after all this time, you still have no real sense of money. Our funds aren't your personal wallet. We camp outside and eat grass for dinner to try and stretch every last gauge we have. You never know when we may need it.
I don't think we're so poor that we have to eat grass or anything.
Shut up, Alvin.
Dang!
Let's just agree to not
Jesus!
spend too much or be too thrifty for our own good.
Alvin, your blazing sword draws its power from Shion's Fire Master core, right?
So I'm told.
Then why don't you use yours?
So we went from a family to
Master Core, yes?
weird stuff to
I mean, you still
back to
carry the
family to yelling.
I do. Each Master Core contains the astral energy harvested from Danan's slaves
Within a short amount of time.
Though only a select few qualified people, namely the lords, can
Jeez.
they nevertheless hold too much power to simply abandon.
If only the lords are supposed to be able to use them, how come Alvin and Shion can use theirs?
That may be because Shion has embedded the Fire Master Core within her body, something which wouldn't have occurred under normal circumstances.
Okay, but why do you still carry yours around?
Just as Danans see Master Cores as symbols of the lives and resources robbed from them, so too do I view mine as a symbol of our lasting sins. The pain and agony wrought upon this world by my predecessors, as well as the injustice enabled by my own inaction, are all housed within my Master Core. It is a testament of all that I have done wrong. It cannot ever be used again, nor fall back into the wrong hands.
Dohalim.
You didn't differentiate between the deaths of Danans and the deaths of Renans.
Danans and Renans both spill blood and languish in agony all the same. I just couldn't bear to hear it any longer. That's all.
Little late for that.
Maintaining your shield? It's becoming a familiar sight.
Miguel was the one who taught me how to maintain my equipment after I first joined the Guard. Now it's just a part of my routine.
Your brother always seems to come up whenever I talk to you.
That's because we had no other relatives. so it was just the two of us growing up.
Wow.
He was my idol. The one I looked up to and
I mean,
wanted
at
to be
least
like.
she had a sibling.
When I became a guardsman, Legio wasn't
True.
too pleased to see me at first. It was
I'm guessing you didn't.
Aboard.
Legio.
I don't have
Alright.
siblings
She
by
was Miguel's
blood.
second in the Gold Dust Cats, wasn't she?
That's right. She's always been a very critical
So there you
and
go.
down-to-earth person. In other
You're not
words,
the only
complete
one.
opposite of a dreamer like me.
I guess Dragonfire is the lucky one out of all of us.
Even so,
You are born from the negative emerald of a chaos emerald, so yeah, I can see why. In fact, no! You do have siblings. Considering you're a chaos beast, you come from an
He wasn't
emerald.
just kind either.
So in
He always
theoretical
worked so
terms,
hard to set an
every
example for
single
me and
chaos
everyone
beast
else
that came
around
from an
him.
emerald is in
He was a
fact your
true gut
family.
brother.
So you're
much
telling me
so
that
when
Chaos
he
is my
sleep,
relative.
he'd slip out of the house to go
Yes,
training on the outskirts
including
of town.
Tikal.
Oh, good lord, not that.
Because I only pretended to be asleep and would follow after him.
So pretty much all chaotic beasts that are made from the emeralds,
You know what?
including the others,
I'm
are
at a
pretty
good
much your
stopping point with
family.
my shield. If you've got time, how about I tell you a couple more Miguel
I
stories?
found that out a bit back.
I guess I'd better get comfortable.
From a different timeline, of course.
Clearly.
Yeah, I just never tell it to the Nazos who are bloody, you know, CUNTs.
Well, you can tell I'm different. I'm not like those other idiots.
Well, I know.
This place gives me the creeps. You really think that lord is hiding out here?
Be careful. The air is dense with astral energy.
Why?
Something's not quite right about this place.
How are you able to pick up on all this stuff anyway? Is it something that all astral arts wielders can do?
I must admit, I'm curious myself. Perhaps her den and bloodline has something to do with it.
Dohalim.
Apologies. I meant no disrespect.
Stay alert, everyone. There's a good chance that she already knows we're here.
That is
For
possible.
the hideout of a runaway lord, this place is a lot bigger than I was
Well.
expecting.
Do you think she had it built with that in mind?
No. Personally, I think this used to be part of a Danon castle or fortress of some sort.
How can you tell?
For one thing, it doesn't look like a storehouse. For another, it's old, and you can tell it was built to let people hole up inside of it.
Huh. I'll take your word for it. I don't know the first thing about brick. You know, I've always thought you were a smart little cookie, but damn, Rinwell, you really know your stuff.
It's no big deal. I've just read a lot of books is all.
If this is meant to be a castle, there wasn't much to it above ground. Are there such things as underground castles?
There probably used to
Yeah.
be more of it above ground. That is, until 300 years ago.
So the main structure must have been lost during the time of the invasion, with only the underground part remaining. And then this lord decided to use it for her own purposes. Have I got that right?
But what reason could she have for using this place instead of staying back in her own castle?
More
That's what we're
reasons
here
than
to
one.
find out. Whatever it is,
Exactly.
she's up to no good.
Right. It's all the more reason we need to hurry up and find her before it's too late.
By all appearances, it would seem she was researching something here.
You think so? What kind of research could she have been doing in a place like this?
Your guess is as good as mine. Hardly anything the likes of us could imagine.
If we assume it was because this area is rich in astral energy, then it's possible she could have been doing any number of things.
Indeed. Renin castles and spirit vessels are often found in such locations. Intriguingly, Danon ruins are also known for their abundant energy.
You Renans attacked us. Don't act like you're just some...
Sheesh, enough already. This isn't the place to pick a fight over this.
How can you be so calm listening to all of this? You suffered at the hands of guys like him too.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm calm.
Those two should get together already. My goodness, with how much
Honest
time
with
they
you,
fight.
It's been nothing but
I'm not
secrets.
I'm not going to
Lords,
disagree with
Renin
you.
forces.
I agree with
They
that.
have to be holed up somewhere, right?
From the look of things, I don't think anybody's been here for a while. If anyone was here, they're long gone now.
Excuse me?
We'll figure this out later. Right now, this thing needs dealing with.
What even the hell is that thing?
A monster.
So much for
Thanks
finding
for
the
telling
Lord.
me the answer I already
Come on,
knew, but I
let's
meant
get
what
back to
exactly is it?
Shion, calm down.
They call it a
This isn't
Zoogle.
like you. What's wrong?
A Zoogle.
Talk to me.
It's
Interesting
none of your
name.
concern.
Even after everything we've been through together?
The two of us are only helping each other because our interests overlap. Remember?
Are you serious? You helped me come to terms with Zephyr's death. You put your life on the line to save me. Don't tell me you did all that out of necessity. That it was only because we have a common goal. Fine.
Huh?
You don't want to answer? Then I'll do whatever I like from now on, too. Clearly, I'm just bothering you. So it doesn't matter if you tell me what's on your mind. But that doesn't mean I'm going to stop looking out for you. Not now, not ever.
That's not fair.
She pushed the
Why
button.
can't you just leave me alone? You don't know the first thing about me.
But I do. I know you care about the pain of others. You care, Shion. That's why I want to help.
Because of my thorns, I thought I had been doomed to a life of solitude. Until the day I died, I knew I would be alone.
And now?
The truth is, I'm trying to end my curse and get rid of my thorns.
Get rid of? There's a way to do that? Really?
I'm not completely sure.
Apparently.
All I know is there's a chance. But that's the reason I need the Renis Alma.
The Renis Alma?
The Master Core to end all Master Cores. It is bestowed upon the winner of the crown contest. the new
Okay.
sovereign, as proof of their victory. It must be assembled from all 5 Master Cores.
That's why taking down the Lords is so important to you.
Okay.
But Shion,
That makes
you're not in
sense.
this alone.
Exactly.
If there's a chance we can rid you of your thorns, I'll be by your side the whole way.
That includes us, right?
Like it or not, you're going to have to get used to relying on us every now and then.
Yeah, no
What
kidding.
kind of friends would we be otherwise?
Yep.
Thank you.
Danin Liberation and the Renis Alma. Looks like we've got our work cut out for us. If we have any hope of finding this Lord and their Master Core, we start by heading back to Nias.
That's probably a
I
good
can't believe
idea.
this. To think they would give us a bad lead like that. Where could that Lord actually be?
Beats me. That said, there's no point wandering around aimlessly trying to look for her. We should head back to Nias for now.
What's wrong, Kisara?
Oh, I was just thinking about what it meant for there to be castles here on Dana. People build castles to protect things that are important for one reason or another. But not simply they're also used to project a ruler's power.
So what you're saying is,
Not
even
wrong.
before the Renans
No.
invaded, the Danans were still being ruled over.
And
It was
again, that's
just by
kind of what
other
my parents did.
That's most likely the case,
In a
yeah.
good way, of course.
Though who knows how they
Ah.
met their people.
But after seeing Deadeye, I can't picture them being all that benevolent themselves.
What if it's in everyone's nature to rule over and control others? What are we supposed to do about that?
If it really is in our nature, then no. All that means is we have all the more reason to fight it. That's all there is to it.
About damn time.
Took long.
You gotta love that fast travel.
Right. I can't wait.
Head on over to the plaza.
What's going on? It seems busier here than before.
What, now there's more people?
Bayfon over there?
Ah, there you are. It seems I owe you all an apology. I'm guessing you didn't find the Lord back in the forest, did you?
No, but something tells me you already knew that.
That I did. Turns out I bit down on some bad intel when I should have known better. Apparently, Deadeye's not as trusting of me as I thought.
But
Oh,
why would he
dear.
feed you bad intel?
My guess? He wanted me to lead you all astray. Make sure you weren't sniffing around where he didn't want you to be.
Of
While you were
course.
off in the forest, I got word that one of our squads captured the Lord. The place wasn't even close to where you were searching.
I see. Well, the important thing is that you finally caught her. Did you suffer many casualties?
You're not going to believe this, but she didn't even put up a fight.
What?
She had no escort either.
What?
Well, what about her master core? Was it recovered?
Sorry. They only briefed me on the basics.
A lord didn't put up a fight? Are you serious?
In the meantime,
It just reminds me of what happened in Batman Arkham. In Batman Arkham Asylum, the Joker didn't even, when he surrendered to Batman without putting up a fight, but he intended it because in that one he took over Arkham Asylum. It's just reminding me of that. It's like she's planning
A
it.
Renin Lord surrender?
That-
Now
that's-
I don't like it. It's like what
Something doesn't
Batman
add up
said.
here.
It's
I don't
possible
like
that
it.
she did plan it. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah, but
Because
here's the thing.
it seems fishy to me.
The master core is a concern
Yeah, but the thing is,
too.
Batman even said he surrendered without a fight and said, "I don't like it." I don't like
We
this.
don't leave until
No.
we get to the bottom of this.
But we're gonna have to find out next time. So anything else you would like to say before we end?
Well, I guess I can say for not really paying attention to this game, I actually am getting a bit of an interest in it. I'm not gonna lie. The thing is, though, when things like as powerful as a lord can probably thrash people around, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like a dog's chew toy.
Yep.
Something tells me she's pulling a Joker from Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, it's possible.
Then again, do you even know about what happened in Batman Arkham Asylum?
No, not really. I'm not really, I don't really have the knowledge of stuff like that, unlike Dragonfire Infinity. That's...
Well, I can give you a little rough estimation and some little big pointers that can kind of make you understand what exactly happened. Obviously, at the beginning of the game, pretty much, obviously, you play as Batman, and you're basically bringing Joker to Arkham Asylum, or should I say, Batman.
Mm-hmm.
The idea is that you bring him into this area, and while you're bringing him to the detention room, you find out that a ton of Blackgate prisoners from Blackgate, which obviously seems to be one of the main prisons that the police use rather than Arkham Asylum, were being brought over there, aka transferred.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, Batman even said to Commissioner Gordon, aka the head of the JCPD, or whatever the hell you call it. Oh yeah, JCPD, Gotham City Police Department.
Mm-hmm.
So I would. But he said to him, he surrendered without a fight. I don't like it. And obviously, in the background, Harley was waiting, aka his goody two shoes of a fucking psychopathic blonde-haired woman.
Mm-hmm.
The idea is is that Joker was planning to be captured and sent to Arkham Asylum. And pretty much, he was planning it, and all of those people that got sent there pretty much took over the entire place in less than a night.
Mm-hmm.
In a short term, in about a couple of hours, Arkham Asylum was pretty much under complete control over Joker. And of course, he helped other people get out, like Bane, Poison Ivy, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
And Joker is a very tenacic person. For someone who is very psychopathic, he's quite smart.
Right.
And of course, if someone as powerful as a lord is gonna not put up a fight, something tells me she's planning something, or that dick of a leader is.
Right. Well,
It's
we're gonna
the
have to
only
find
thing.
out next time. So
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
so anyway, please sign off.
Well, this is Zero the Hedgehog. I'm signing off before I lose any more of my life, or whatever the hell. So, peace.
And this is Nazo the Hedgehog signing off. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next part. I don't know if Hero will be coming back or not, but we'll see on who Dragonfire can grab. Goodbye.